high content, and I've been a
Yeah.
little bit more. I've been a little bit more. Hey, you know what? Fuck you. You voted for this
Yeah.
shit.
And that's fair, Tom. You know?
But what are you hearing from them? And I'm not talking about what are we hearing from rural folks who supported Donald Trump who are now getting screwed over by his policies. What do we hear from rural folks who supported Donald Trump and are getting screwed over by his policies heading into the midterms? Because it's one thing to say I don't support a guy anymore who can't run for president anymore.
Yeah.
I want to know who they're going to vote for in November.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a couple of things here. I am a small farmer, but I'm also going to put my Highlander political strategies hat on
Please.
because you know this, but maybe some people in here don't know. I also have a political consult. I can't think of another word for it. It's not as much a consulting firm as it is that we do a lot of polling and surveys and message delivery for nonprofits and Democratic politicians. So I'd tell you a couple things. First of all, Will Rogers, for those of you that are a little bit younger and don't know who he is, man, it's hard to say that. He was a he was a humorist and during the Great Depression and World War II. And a reporter asked him one time, Tom, how do rural people learn their lesson? And he said, well, some learn by reading, others are fortunate enough to learn by observation, and then the rest just have to pee on the electric fence for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And, obviously what he meant by that is a lot of people don't change their mind until they're the ones that feel the pain. So, with what we just talked about, uh, rural Americans are starting to feel the pain. The big, beautiful bill cut $137 billion from rural health care. It doubled the premiums in rural America because a lot of people don't know this. Rural Americans got an additional 29% uh, subsidy for ACA because we have fewer healthcare choices and it's more expensive because of distance. So my insurance, for example, went from $1,600 to $3,300 a month,
Mm.
and I had to pick a plan that wasn't as good because who in the hell can afford $40,000 a year for health insurance? Ain't nobody making that much on YouTube. You know what I
Right.
mean? And the other thing is, we're going to see over the next couple of years about a 33% increase in the number of uninsured in rural America. So these chickens are starting to come home to roost. People are feeling this already, Tom, along with these higher fuel prices. We also have this big war with vouchers out here where a lot of Republican led states are taking money out of rural schools to pay for vouchers to kids who are very wealthy to go to private religious schools. And all of this is starting to come home to roost. So, what it's led to in the latest numbers, and say what you want about Fox News, they've got one of the best polling organizations out there. If you remember when Obama beat Mitt Romney, Karl Rove lost his mind because Fox News called the election for Obama first.
Yep.
We've seen a 37% drop in Trump's approval in rural America overall. We've seen a 36% drop among white rural Americans. That's critical that the drop amongst white rural Americans is the same as it is amongst people of color in rural America. That's really critical. And then we've seen a double digit drop even amongst Republicans who are his most ardent supporters. The question I can't answer yet, Tom, because there's just been no polling on it yet, is does that mean they're going to stay home? Or does it mean they're going to give a Democrat a chance? I don't know the answer to that part yet. But honestly, in politics, just coming to you from a political consultant perspective, people staying home is what cost Kamala Harris the election. So if all these Republicans stay home because they're disgruntled, the net result will be positive for us as well.
Yeah, it will result in Democrats at least taking one
Yeah,
chamber of Congress, if not two. I got to admit, and I don't want to spend too much time on the
yeah,
Senate in the moment, but I there are a few opportunities for the Democrats to gain ground in the Senate. There are some areas that people are excited about in the country that I'm not as confident about, that being Maine and
yeah.
Texas, where I'm more confident in areas like Iowa and Alaska.